In this video, I will show you how to set up the banner for your newsletter. Right now I have the working title for this newsletter. It's centered aligned at the top, although the size of the text is not very large. So I need that to pop out more, so I'm going to increase the size. I'm going to use the grow font command. Alright, maybe something like that. And then I would encourage you to try the text effects and colors. I'm going to put a reflection effect on it. Looks something like that. Might add a bold. See how that looks. Might also try a different font. I'll try impact. Alright. I'm going to put the cursor right behind the title, and I could hit the enter key, and that'll create some space between the title and subtitle, or I could hold down the shift key and then press the enter key, and that'll tighten up the space between the title and subtitle. For right now, I'm just going to hit enter and type my subtitle in. And I don't want it to be the same size, so I'll select that. I'll shrink that down a little bit. And I could try clearing the formatting using this eraser. And notice it gets rid of the effect, and I have to realign it. Okay, something like that. So we have Cougar Core newsletter where it's at Wildcats. All right, and then I need you guys to put a date and then Chisago Lakes Middle School, but I'd like it to be on the left and the right. So I'll click on the left alignment tool. Shrink my font down a little bit, put the date that it's due, or it's going to be published. Right there, a little large still. So I'm going to turn that down, something like that. And then I would like the name of the school to be on the right side, but I can't use the right alignment because that'll change the placement of April 19th here, so I have to use a tab. So I'm going to use a dialog box launcher in the paragraph group, this button right here, and I'm going to use that to click on the tab button here. And I know that 6.5 will work really well. Make sure you choose right alignment, just like that. And now when I press tab on my keyboard, watch where the cursor goes. Now it's on the right side. Now I can type in Chisago Lakes Middle School. And it keeps the April 19th in place. I'm going to have to change the size here to match. And something like that. All right. I actually might go a little smaller just to balance it. Okay. All right, so we have the title, subtitle, and our other information underneath that. Now I'm going to put a border and an image in. Lots of ways to do this. We could add a paragraph border. So if I go here, I could put a bottom border. We could do that. Or we could actually put a shape or a text box around this. So I'm going to go up to the Insert tab. And I could draw a text box around it. One way to do that is to open up the gallery for a text box. I don't really like the gallery of choices. I usually go down to where it says draw text box. And then I'll get a crosshair. And then I'll try to make sure I stay within the margins here, or close to it. And I could draw a box around my information right there. Notice that'll cover it up. So I can either use wrap text or bring forwards and backward to order the layers of what I have so far on the screen. I'm going to try send backward and send to back. That didn't do it. So I'm going to go send behind text, and that did it. Now I could change the way the border looks by going to shape outline. I could add a little more weight to it, or I could go to a different style of line. down here. I'll just add a little bit of weight to it. And I could also change the color of that perhaps. And I could also put a fill color in there, something like that. But for my purposes, I'll leave it at white. Okay, now I could have done the same thing. Instead of using a text box, I could have also inserted a shape instead, but I'm just going to leave it as a text box. It's going to work as a shape around my information at the top. All right, now I'd like to put in an image. So I have Google Images in the background, that's on, and I want to insert an image right about here in my newsletter. So we could use a number of tools or methods to insert this image, but I think the easiest one in this case to use is go up to the Insert tab. Notice where Screenshot is, and I'm going to hold down the triangle, and I'm going to use Screen Clipping. Now behind Microsoft Word, I have Google Images on. Make sure you have your safe search on. I've already searched for Chisago Lakes Middle School, and I'm going to use one of the old logos for our school to place in my newsletter. So I'm going to select that right there. All right, now when I let go, that pops the image in. I'm going to have trouble moving this image if I don't unlock it. So I'm going to go up to Wrap Text, and for now I'm going to choose in front of text so that I can place it. Now I'm going to hold down the Shift key and resize it proportionally. But you'll notice that the white in the image is actually covering up the text. Now I could choose probably to put this behind, but let's say you have an image where the background color is not white and you need to get rid of that white. So if you have a solid color in the background of your image, it's fairly easy to get rid of that. I'm going to go up to the Format tab and then choose Remove Background. Now you notice that it's going to take out the white, but also part of the wildcat. So I'm going to go up to here where it says mark our areas to keep, and I'm going to click on different parts of my wildcat to restore. And get the paws here and the claws, paws and the claws. And I'm going to try to get the top part of the wildcat, and now the wildcat looks in pretty good shape. I'm going to click on the green check mark to keep my changes. And then as I move this, you'll notice that what was covering up the text, what was white behind the wildcat, is no longer there. Let me resize this a little bit. All right, getting close to being done here. But let's say I want the wildcat to be pointing a little bit towards the middle of the banner, not a little bit away from it. So I'm going to go up to the rotate up here, and I'm going to flip horizontal. Now the wildcat's pointed more towards the center. Okay, so it could look like that. And then we'll be ready to complete the rest of the newsletter. One more thing I could suggest. People that make newsletters don't always use boxes to frame their banner. A box is a way to create a focal point, or a way for the eyes to notice that you're supposed to look at the top or the title area first. But there's other ways to create a focal point for your title area. So I'm going to suggest one other way to do this. So instead of using a box, although a box is an easy way to do it, I'm going to delete the box. And another way to create attention at the top is to make your image bigger. Now I have to edit this a little bit. I'm going to take the color out of this. So I'm going to go to the Format tab, and I'm going to look for one of the variations here. I think I'll just go with black and white for now. And then I'm going to go up to corrections, and I'm going to try to make this a little bit brighter, something like that. Okay. And you could do something like this to raise the size. Now the wildcat is covering up the text. So I could go to my layering tools here and send the wildcat back. I'm going to choose send behind text. Now the arrangement isn't great here. I could try tilting the wildcat a little bit, maybe resize a little. You can see how the size of the image could draw attention at the top, but it's not working with the text. So I might have to realign the text, but let me try this. I'm going to bring it over to the left side and rotate. And if I move my text over a little bit, maybe shrink my image down a little too. It's starting to take shape. Might have to reduce the size a little bit more and place the wildcat more like this. It needs a little bit of work, but you can see how the image might draw the eyes. And the paws are actually pointing to two things in the banner area, the date and the subtitle and title area. So you could play around with that.